That's what everybody wants. They want someone who's going to be a freak for you. Good morning, house party queen.
Good morning. And you know what? I was listening to the beginning of the lyrics of that song, and I really swore she said something else. So I had to check the lyrics. The first line, I'll be a good girl to the world if you want me for your girl. And I thought she said, if you want me to F your girl. And I was like, oh my God, is that in the
Oh,
song?
all
And so I had
right.
to look up the lyrics to check. It was my brain at this time in the morning weren't computing too
No,
rightedly, I could
take it
say.
out of the gutter.
It was in the
It
gutter,
was
in the
definitely in the
complete
gutter.
gutter. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But good morning to everyone on Mixcloud. Good morning. Good morning, Lloydie Banks. Welcome, my darling. And Sandy and Yomac 100. A Watagwan. I heard you mention his name. DJ Cole
No, she.
Bassett.
That's Jazz. Sure, that's my friend Jazz.
Ah,
Jazz,
Jazz. How you doing,
salsa
Jazz?
jazz. Got to be talking to
Miss
you later on. Actually, coming salsa later,
Miscellany.
so I'll see you later.
Miscellany, Verona Green, Jax Happy, and everyone else that's on the Mixcloud that I may have forgotten about. Spice also. And Jenny C, nice to see you again. So, Sharky DJ, how's it been going? You've been handling the breakfast show up until now very, very well, I might say, and playing some
Thank you,
very good
thank you, thank you,
music.
thank you.
You've been rocking some music. I say this every time I come on. There's nothing different.
Good music is what it's all about. Mixing up the new, the old, the popular, the unpopular, and getting it right. That's what I say.
Exactly. So, what has been going on in the news? Well, you know what we've been talking about over the past few weeks? We've been talking about P. Diddy, right?
Oh yes,
P. Diddy's been a bit of a naughty
Puff.
boy. Well, Sean Diddy Coombs, Puff Daddy, whatever his name is, he's embroiled in four loose lawsuits
Oh
right
wow.
now. That's what's going on. And a fourth lady has come forward and created a lawsuit for him. And he's been accused of sexual abuse in all of these multiple lawsuits as well. Um, and in a lawsuit filed on the 6th of December, an unidentified woman accuses him and two others. I think Rick Ross was
Rick
quietly
Ross as
named.
well. Wow.
Rick Ross, I think, was implicated in this too and accuses him and two others of sex trafficking and gang rape in
Oh
2003
wow.
when she was just 17. Now, P. Diddy has stayed quiet for a little while. He hasn't said a word, but quite recently on Instagram, he made a statement. And the statement is up there. He says, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Hmm. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Coombs. What do you think of that?
Well, they normally say there's no smoke without fire.
And I don't know why some people make these statements or even come out on TV and kind of try to have the allegations taken away from them, like they need to be seen in a shining light. And they never do anyone any justice. It didn't do Princess Diana any justice, really,
No.
apart from revealing what was happening in the royals and the establishment, and she called it. It didn't do any justice for R. Kelly, who was crying and threw a
Yep.
rant on his show. It didn't do any justice for Prince Andrew. Remember that
Yep.
ill-fated interview that he did that just absolutely everyone crucified him for afterwards. Michael Jackson, it didn't do it for him with
No.
Martin Bashir. So I don't know why people want to come out and do these things, especially when they've been accused of something. As you said, there's no smoke without fire, right?
Yep.
Something is going on, something untowards has gone on, whether it's the amount that people are talking about, whether it's a smaller amount, whether it's a bigger amount, whether there there are more lawsuits to come out, we don't know. His lawyers could be frantically finding every woman that he's done anything to, made them sign non-disclosure agreements, paid them off, sent them away, quietly shot them up. Who knows what's
But
going on in this world?
the thing about it with a lot of these artists and all these accusations that are actually coming out is that normally when it starts, and if there's one or two people that are making the accusation. Okay, you can say, you know, but when you got 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you see all the rumors coming out, and then you got other artists saying what they went through. I mean, Jaguar White came out with something, and she has,
Listen, I
been
love her.
obliterating Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, and I mean, they must be looking at R. Kelly and thinking, we're in trouble here.
Oh
And
my
there's
gosh.
certain artists that are actually keeping quiet, or very quiet at the moment, which if they go down,
Well, there's an artist that's not keeping quiet.
who's
50
that?
Cents.
Oh,
50
50
Cents
Cent,
is
yeah.
doing a documentary on P. Diddy. It's coming out very soon. Y'all just watch out for that. I don't know what channel it's coming on, but I saw a trailer release for it. I'm sure I saw it on YouTube somewhere, but 50 Cents is bringing out a documentary
Mm.
about the goings on in P. Diddy's, what was it? The Candy Estate? Candy something it was
Oh,
called.
I'll bring you to the candy shop. Remember, there's a
No, that was
track,
50. No, that was 50 Cent's track. But Sean Diddy Coombs, his sprawling mansion had a nickname, and
Candy something.
it was Candy something.
Right,
Somebody
and
might
50
know
Cent
in.
did a track called Take You to the Candy Shop.
Well, maybe it could be linked. Yeah, I didn't think
Maybe it's
about
something for
that.
us to look into, yeah?
I'm gonna look at the lyrics of that. I'm gonna check that
Look
out.
at the lyrics to Candy Shop.
I'm gonna check out the lyrics for Candy Shop. But 50 Cents is going to be doing a documentary on P. Diddy and the goings on in that mansion, and the alleged grooming that went on in there. And 50 Cents has also been a loud spokesman of, he's anti P. Diddy, by the way, and
Mm-hmm.
has spoken about many times when P. Diddy has invited him out and took him to a gay strip bar. He showed videos of P. Diddy in compromising positions and asked polls about P Dids as well. So he's got guns out for him also. So it's P Diddy's demise is going to be very soon, I think.
Yeah, I'm not
Weinstein,
sure.
his demise, this movement of women no longer keeping quiet. This, when women had to go to Hollywood and try to get onto films, they had to often sleep with the directors. The casting couch, that's it. That's the name I wanted to find for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to stop now. We've got to stop flaunting our
Definitely.
bodies. We've got to stop giving up our bodies in order to make a career. And these men need to stop this behavior. It's not on. Now you can see it doesn't matter how much money you have, how famous you are, you're up for the downfall. You're
Yeah.
up there. You're not away from the chop of liberty and life like R. Kelly.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are worried, a lot of artists that are worried right now. When accusations started to come out about them, I think the best thing for them to do is just keep their mouth shut and don't say a single word. Because, all these young ladies that have come out and saying, that this was done and that was done, half of them, I mean, are they all lying? Are they all trying to make a quick buck, or some of them are reeling from what's gone on there? I am not sure.
I'm sure it could be an amalgamation of the two.
Mm,
There's people that will see an opportunity and go for it. They could
yeah,
have just brushed past P. Diddy and all of a sudden he abused me. And other women, for sure, that do have a story and warrant the lawsuit coming out. And
yeah,
many that could be too afraid, intimidated. We don't know. I mean, there's the stories of Tupac's, Biggie Smalls, who did what. And Usher is Usher's implication in all of this. P. Diddy had him at that mansion at the age of what, 15 or
yeah.
12? It was a very young age. And he revealed in an interview that they used to wake up and do play fights. Michael Jackson said the same thing. Why have you got young boys in your beds? Why do you have young boys in your bed at the age of 12 play fighting? You know what play fighting leads to. You know,
Exactly.
we've all done play fighting,
Yeah.
play fighting, and you
still
accidentally
do,
touch.
still do play fighting.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh
Having
dear.
12-year-old boys in bed is a no-no. It's a just a no-no. Unless it's your grandchild. That's the only excuse. Your child or your grandchild. No other people's children. No men.
Absolutely not.
No.
Totally agree. Okay. HPQ. What else have we got? Times 8:48. This is the Breakfast Flight Show. Big up, countryman.
Ah, Countryman's on there. And good morning, Scant Stress. Good morning to you. And Miss Laney says, what does Diddy mean? A bit suspect. It's true. What does Diddy mean in his name? And Yomac 100 says, all of them are not victims. Because I told my daughters when they went to college that if you take your body somewhere after hours, then chalk it up as as your P saying being took. I think I get what she means there. I think I get
Mm,
what you mean there. Meaning that if you take yourself somewhere, then
yeah,
you're really letting yourself in for anything happening. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Explain that, please, Jazz. Maybe just explain that a little bit more. And you also said that he mentioned he was going to donate all of his proceeds to charity for the abused women, and saying that they've got some strong estrogen in the room. They certainly have. And I also looked up the lyrics to Candy Shop. They're in no way in reference to P. Diddy. I'm not even going to start recounting any of the lyrics. They are very, very sexual. And the meaning is all sexual. It's all sexual about
yeah. No,
licking
I'm just saying
lollipops till
that
he
when he
doesn't want
said
to
that, I
stop.
just thought maybe that's what it meant. I'm not saying that's exactly what it meant. I mean, because it's just funny. So it's talking about the candy, and that's all. There
No,
might have been a
no,
link there, but maybe not.
no. This was in reference to licking some nice
Okay,
sweets,
looking sweet. Yes, I know.
eating treats.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I looked at the lyrics and I thought, wow, yeah, got to have a
Mm.
degree to write those lyrics, certainly. Anyway, and Jazz says, Yomat 100 says, you are spot on. Thank you very much. I think I interpreted that. Uh, what's your
Oh, that's
name?
that's
Lady
that's not
Liberty.
jazz. That's Yomac. Jazz is
Oh, I thought you said,
Watagwan.
oh,
No,
sorry,
jazz is
sorry.
Watagwan.
I got it
Watagwan is
mixed
jazz.
up. Sorry, Yomac 100. And hi, Wataguan. What I mean, Jazz. So thank you, Yomac 100, for that. Now, also, there's always controversy surrounding some rap stars, isn't it? P. Diddy is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, still Kanye West and his wife,
Okay.
Bianca Censori. Now, him and Kim were always flagged up in the news. I don't know about his fashion choices and the way that he dressed Kim. Maybe it's avant-garde. Maybe it's that level of fashion that we're not in tune to, or have money to even aspire to. To be that different, and to have a wardrobe that large to house all those clothes. But Bianca Censori seems to be his muse to just put on whatever he wants, and it seems to be less and less. Now, they got banned in whatever country it was. I think it was either Venice or Italy that they went to, and she was wearing see-through clothes, and
Mm.
it's quite a religious country, and they were just outraged and didn't want them to come back with the media sensationalism that followed. But it's still going on in terms of what she wears. Now, I found some pictures in the news the other day,
Mm-hmm.
as she went out on a night out in Miami. Now, this is her and Kanye West. Okay, you can't
Okay.
really see her in that picture. Kanye West is in front, as a narcissist would do. Um, and then we have Bianca Censori. This is her outfit.
Oh wow.
It's just literally a string diamante bikini with some fluffy animal, some fluffy fur bit just hooked to the front of her, and that's the backside of her. Um, and I'm just wondering around the fact that, do we really need to do this to garner the attention that we so want? What is it that we're doing to ourselves, and what's the message that we're saying? Are we saying that we're just free spirited and we should be able to wear what we want? Come the next century, it's going to be nakedness. It's
Mm.
just going to be nakedness. There's no point in wearing any clothes. Just put the designers out of work. Let's just be naked. Just forget clothes.
As they say, go back to Adam and Eve.
Go back to nature. Go back
Go
to
back
how
to
you
nature.
go back to how you were born.
Mm.
You were born naked. Just be naked. I don't know why it should be um, such a problem. Stay naked. And then we
Yeah.
won't have to have any problem, any issue with anyone whatsoever.
We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. HPQ. Oh
You
dear.
can see me in the green room going, What's going on? What's going on?
Don't you
And
read your messages?
not at all. Obviously, I really don't. I'm so sorry about
You
that.
need
But
to read your
coming back
messages.
to P Diddy, I don't
Yeah,
know if I'm calling him by the right name because he has changed his name so many times, and he announced that he's no longer. It was Puff Daddy P Diddy,
yeah,
and he's saying he's no longer Sean John Combs because he's legally changed his name to Sean Love Combs.
yeah,
So that's his name now, Sean Love Combs. And I think because he just loves everybody, doesn't it? P. Diddy loves, or Sean Combs loves a bit of everybody. He
yeah.
doesn't really mind, does he?
Bit of this and a bit of that. It's a bit in the. Well, allegedly, there's things coming out that things that he's quite into. So we don't know, do we?
We don't know. We don't know at all. But on to a bit of serious
Mm,
news. Now, Shakira Spencer has been in the news quite recently. She was found dumped in a cupboard after being tortured, starved, and beaten to death. And she was only found when maggots were coming out of underneath her flat door. And
gosh,
neighbours alerted the police, who found her remains. And two women and a man have been found guilty of murdering this vulnerable woman, and she was, yeah, she was tortured and starved and actually battered to death.
gosh.
Now, she died after falling under the influence of a former neighbour. I think her name was Ashana Studholm, I'm reading, and her lover, Sean Pendlebury, and their friend, Lisa Richardson. And they're from West London. This
Mm,
happened last year, by the way. This wasn't just this year. They've been found guilty just this year, but the offence happened last year. Now,
mm-hmm.
this 35 went from being a beautiful, happy, healthy size 16 to a gaunt and skeletal size shortly before her death.
Yeah.
Now, I have some pictures of her along the way. Now, this was the young lady in question before anything happened to her. This is how she actually looked. Um, and she was healthy, she was beautiful. Um, and then she fell in with the crowd, and the fact that they were just abusively coercing her, not feeding her, making her do
Oh
things that she
no.
shouldn't have done. They started feeding her with drugs also, so they got her hooked on drugs. And as I said earlier on, they starved and beat her.
Oh no.
Um, and she was just isolated, prostituted out, just robbed of her whole self-respect and whole worthiness also. So by the time it hit July 2022, she was just completely gaunt and skeletal. And we've got some pictures of her. This is her
Oh gosh. Oh wow.
afterwards, how she looked. And also, I think, one of the last pictures that were taken of her, I can
Jeez.
see a text message across there. And yeah. Um, they said that after she had died, they packed ice around her in a bid to slow down decomposition.
Mm-mm,
And
gosh.
newspapers were laid carefully on the floor, on the bed, as though she had been reading a newspaper. They're trying to make out like she died in her sleep. And they
Mm.
had an alternative plan to dispose of the body in a caravan, but they didn't want to
Oh
risk
gosh.
moving her. They also cleaned up the victim's blood, bodily fluids, DNA from their homes, and removed all the traces of her presence from their flat. And as I said, people were only alerted when they saw maggots crawling out of the
Gosh.
flats, and police were called on
Nasty.
Sunday, I think the 25th, 2022. Now, her body was so
Her
badly
body. Yeah.
decomposed that a pathologist was unable to identify exactly how she died due to the poor condition of her body. But they did find crushing injuries to her ears, cuts to her scalp, scalding wounds to her feet. And she was a bad way. And she was found inside a cupboard, I think it was. It was just awful. It was an awful, awful story, and an
Mm-hmm.
awful, awful way to die at the hands of these very, very callous people.
Gosh, that sounds terrible, man. What a way.
It just shows how people can coerce vulnerable people
Mm.
into a controlling behavior. It happens in abusive relationships, in marriages. I was listening to LBC yesterday, um, about a woman about a guy who was coercive and controlling towards his wife, and she was going to
Mm.
leave him, and he killed her. He killed the 7-year-old daughter, and
Jeez.
then he killed himself.
Those are the worst, you know. That is the absolute worst. It really
They are.
is.
They are. They are horrific. And I think it's very cowardly to then just take your life afterwards because you don't want to stand trial for what you've done to somebody else. It really
Mm.
is. Um, and you could imagine the terror of this woman, probably wanting to leave her husband, knowing that he is capable of doing something like this. If he's telling you, I'm going to kill you, and probably
Yeah.
has done a number of occasions, it must be a frightening experience. It really must do. Now, I just saw Adelaide Mackenzie saying, what borough is this incident? I'm just interested because of the work I do. All I've got is that it's from West London at the moment. I'll try and find out some other details in terms of this story and where the borough was actually in. But let's just play a happy track, I think, after this bit of news. I hate to bring sad news, but sometimes there is sad news.
We definitely need a happy drop. So anyway, what have you got for us, HPQ?
Oh, well, what they say, men are not that brilliant at multitasking, so
I'm
I,
doing
I
so.
understand.
I am doing so. That's why you seeing all the concentration going on there and trying to get this thing back up and running sweetly. But don't want to talk too much about that. Let's get on with the news.
Anyway, so Yomat 100 says this message is for all of the real men in this room. Okay, teach and educate all of the women in your life. And I'll add to that, and do better for those that are not doing so well. Do better. As they say, people want to look upon you as an idol, someone to look up to and to want to replicate in their life. Don't be a bad man. Don't be a dog, man. No need, no need. Don't forget, those of you have daughters, and some guy might want to come and do that same rubbish to your daughter. So you've got to teach all men out there, teach your young men, teach yourself, and teach your daughters to be safe. That's the message. It's the only message I can give out there. But anyway, so yesterday I mentioned this and I just kind of want to repeat it because I think it's quite important. We want to save money, right? It's Christmas time. We're going to be using enough electricity and appliances and things. Everything's going to be going, over Christmas time. So British Gas, as I said yesterday, has further extended its offer of half price electricity over the winter. I didn't know they were doing it and I'm so upset. Peak Save Sundays. Those of you that have got British Gas, please go onto the website and sign up for Peak Days Sundays. I believe between 11 and 7 p.m. you can save on half price. Sorry, between 11 and 4 p.m. every Sunday, you'll receive a 50% discount on all electricity used between those hours. Now,
Wow.
both new and existing customers are eligible for the scheme. You will need a smart meter that gives half hourly readings, and all the savings will appear on as a credit on your energy bills subsequently.
Hmm.
So
So,
British Gas says 425,000 customers have been paid 2.5 million for switching their usage to non-peak times. It's a time when you could do all your washing, get all your washing done on a Sunday between 11 and 4. I can get 3 loads done in that time. Fantastic. I'm signing up for it. I didn't do it yesterday, but I'm going to be doing it today. So those of you on British Gas, or you want to make a switch and do this, they are doing this up until February 2024. By the way, it was supposed to end at the end of the year. They've extended it down to 2024 in February. So please sign up for this saving. I think it's absolutely brilliant. OVO Energy is doing a similar scheme also. So if you are on OVO Energy, you can sign up for that as well. So good luck to those that are going to sign up for this scheme. I know I'm going to do it straight after this. If I can find the link, I will post it into the Mixcloud chat room also and send that in. Now,
hmm,
as I said, it's Christmas time, isn't it? It's
it
time for
is
all that
coming up.
cooking.
And don't you love Christmas?
I do. I'm a Christmas belle, but since I moved, I didn't celebrate Christmas last year because I didn't have time to put up a tree. I'd literally moved in 2 weeks before. I was trying to get my place
It's
together.
been a year
And
now,
this
isn't
year
it? Almost
also I
here.
didn't get a tree. I haven't celebrated the essence of Christmas yet. I haven't got all Christmassy. I've watched Christmas movies. I've kind of binged on Christmas
Mm-hmm.
movies, but that's been about it. But next year when I get my house in a little bit more, as I say, how I want it, I'll be a little bit more. But
Let's
I
call
love
it.
Christmas. I
Let's
love
call it.
decorations.
Let's call it third year lucky.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that.
Get it right the third year. Get it right. Definitely the third year. We'll have a
Yeah.
brilliant Christmas.
And I'm spending Christmas in Wolverhampton this year. So it's the first time in well, last year and this year's. I haven't cooked Christmas dinner. Now, normally I'm cooking for the mass, and I've rested, and now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that again.
You're not going to be in London? Not going to be in London town?
No, 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 not coming
Okay.
to I may do. I'm thinking about it because I'd have to drive, so I'm considering. But I don't want to do it again. Is it number one? For
It's a
those of
lot of work,
you
isn't it?
who are the Christmas dinner cookers, right? Does anyone pay you for this? Right? Because at the end of the day, when you think, I know it's to do with family, but when you've got 20 people coming around and you've got to pay for 20 people, and in this cost of living crisis, it's a lot of money. You're spending
Mm.
hundreds to feed people to fart, burp, and eat and leave and argue. I don't know. I don't know. But the reason why I've said that is because there's lots of stories going around about people not wanting to pay in full for Christmas dinner and people asking for meal payments to come for Christmas dinner. Now, the juries or the polls have got to come out. Do you think it's right that people should charge for Christmas dinner? I mean, imagine if I've decided I'm doing Christmas dinner, and it's cost me £500, which
Mm.
in this day and age it could cost me that.
It's a lot of
Do
money,
you think
isn't it?
it's fair that everyone else just comes and eats, or do you think that they should contribute, maybe in food or I would prefer monetary value. I wouldn't ask people. I think that would be quite
I
cheeky,
think
but
in this
it's
day
a
and age,
season of
mm,
goodwill, right? It's the
hmm
season of goodwill. People should just naturally think, you've gone to all this trouble. Here's a little £50. Here's a turkey, here's a chicken, here's a leg of lamb.
I think,
you
to be
know?
honest with you, for Christmas time, I think in this day and age, in reality, if someone's going to have Christmas around their house, I think everybody should contribute. And I think if the person's going to cook, everyone put like a £20 in, and they get all the drinks and that. I mean, if you put £20 a head, it's like going out to a restaurant, isn't it? And they do all the dinner. You don't have to do nothing. 20 quid a head. I mean, come on, here's 20 quid, and we'll do the cooking, right? Yeah, they might make a little bit of profit. So what? You're getting you eat yourself out, but you know what? Some people, they put £20 in, they're gonna try and eat out £50,
Yeah, but
But it
20,
doesn't
20,
matter as long as
20, £20 a head is still not doing it. 8 people times 20 is just not enough. It's just not
okay,
enough.
£30 a head then.
I
Then
say
you work it
50,
out and
man.
say, like, I'm gonna buy the drinks. I'm gonna buy the drinks. I'm gonna cook the food. All you need to do is turn up and just pay me £30. I think if I was gonna have Christmas around my house, that's exactly what I'd be saying. If I'd, people come around, say, listen, everybody chip in. Give me 30 quid and each, and we'll have a wicked Christmas dinner. That's worth it.
You go for it then. You go
Yes.
shopping and figure out that that's what it's going to cost. Yeah. G4 says cook and bring. Yes. Cook and bring. Yeah. Everybody, if you don't come with your empty hands and don't come with a bottle of Pink Lady either.
Pink Lady. Pink Lady, typical. You know what? Christmas time reminds me of like Baby Sham, Cherry B. Those drinks, those old drinks.
Snowball. I love a
Snowball, all the
snowball.
good old Christmas
Come
drinks.
on. Do you know what? I got a bit hooked on snowballs. I was buying them every day. Some ice, and I'll drink it like it's just a soft drink. I'd have
Yeah,
like two or three of them, and
and then throw
but I
up
love a
after.
snowball. I do love a snowball. Somebody else has got to love a snowball. Love a
Oh dear.
snowball.
So
I
Jazzy
do. I
P
do.
says, some relatives and friends them can't cook. Imagine someone. Do you know what? Right, it's really funny because I mean, one of my specialities is cooking macaroni cheese, and I remember we had to. I think about 4 or 5 of us brought macaroni cheese to somebody's do, and I cooked a macaroni cheese. Mine went first, and at the end of the night, the end of the day, there was like about nearly a full bowl of macaroni cheese left. All the kids ate my macaroni cheese. I'm the macaroni cheese king.
Okay, so hold on. So Stephen Henry, okay, so Kelza P says, Sharky DJ, you must know the true cost to feed people at Christmas. Thank you, Kelza. I don't know that £30 a head or £20 a
Yeah,
head.
but
I'm
what I'm
looking at
saying
him
is
like,
better getting
yeah,
thirty
right.
pounds than getting nothing at
I
all.
want the whole
That's
cost paid for. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The whole cost. I'm not spending £200 of my money for you to eat, burp, and fart and leave. No, 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 no. Anyway, so Stephen Henry, right, says my kids do not have to pay as they pay their housekeeping. Fair enough. You contribute all year round. That's part of it. Yes.
mm,
As for guests, sisters and brothers, £35 to £40 per head. See, that's what I'm talking about, Stephen. You understand. £35 per head for food and drink and dessert. You get dessert too. Go on, Stephen, with
And
that. You get
Kelza says
dessert.
payment up front too. You definitely got to have payment up front.
Because
Definitely.
you know the ones that say, I'll give it to you later. And that doesn't come, and you got to chase them up. Can I have the Christmas money in
Right.
January? And you're not getting it. Nah, 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 nah. Payment up front. Bank transfers, and you wait for it as well. Send it now.
Right. This year, right, Christmas falls on a Monday. That means that we have to do a breakfast show. Is anybody going to be listening to us on a Monday? If you're going to be listening to I'm getting up on a Monday morning, I want a tip. I mean, yeah, I want to see the tips coming in
Do
Monday
you know
morning.
what? I need to stream to mine as well then, because I we need tipping everybody.
Yeah, we
So
need tipping. Yeah,
tip
we've been here
Sharky
all year.
DJ.
Getting
Yeah,
up, yeah, right. We need some tip and not no
give
like
me
all
more
these
because
like
Sharky says he doesn't need it. So just give
no.
me the
I need the
money.
tip.
I need the cash. I need it.
What are you saying, HPQ?
Well, you can only give as much love as you've got to give. Now we got a few comments in the chat room. Now, first of all, I didn't finish reading Stephen Henry's comments, and he said his bedrooms do not come cheap. I do understand that. I really do. And Jazzy P says, Sharky DJ, my macaroni pie is the lick. I can attest to that. I've tasted it. She supplied it at my birthday party. So, yes, Jazzy P, it is payment up front too. Kelza P says, G4 says, I'll give you a tip. Don't do the Monday show, Sharky. I like that. Jazzy P says, I'm feeding you this Christmas as the new girl on the Wolverhampton block. Blessings, thank you. And Yomac100 says, I've passed the torch to my daughters, and the hours you spend in the kitchen cleaning and cooking, and the folks pack up the food they've eaten, and the fact that you aren't eating because you have tasted and entertained every single soul. But what is supposed to happen is that everyone attending should bring a dish. If I'm supplying the venue and the turkey and or the ham, then bring a side. Listen, I don't know about when I was hosting, I used to cook a turkey, a leg of lamb, a chicken, saltfish, lobster, crab, desserts, starters, um, beef, salmon, um,
Everything.
everything was there. And when you think about it, and this is what Kelsa was saying about the true cost of Christmas, you got to think about, the amount of time that you spend cooking all this food and the preparation and the buying that goes into it. And the fact that you have to dress the table, all the bits to dress the table, the crackers, the gifts, because you can't have people come to your house and you haven't got them a gift. Food, the drink, entertainment, even. You got to entertain everybody. And as Yomac 100 says, when you've tasted 12 different dishes, you don't want to eat no food. I've sat down at that table and picked at some little bits, just picked and picked, because you've just spent all your time cooking, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. Pass the torch, yes, it's too much. But one lady says she's the ultimate cheapskate because she gives family packs of bog roll as gifts, right? She slashed her budget by 1,200. Good on you. Good on anyone that can slash their budgets and then ask family members to chip in for their dinner. And all you buy as their gifts are family rolls. And she said she didn't care for top of the range gifts and she made the decision to cut back and began looking at how to be a bit more frugal. I say a bit more wise.
Mm, wise, yes, defo.
Wise, definitely. I remember with an ex-partner of mine, I remember spending lots of money at Christmas on gifts, obscene amounts of money, because it's always like your friends say, what did your boyfriend get you for Christmas? And like everyone just comes up with, oh, he got me this, got me Ferrari, he got me £50,000
Mm.
holiday, I wish, all those kind of things, or a Gucci bag, Louis Vuitton bag, 10 bottles of perfume. And I feel like it's a competition. And I don't see why you've got to spend all this money on gifts at one time during the year. Just spend it every month, man. Buy me a gift every month. And then Christmas time, you won't have to worry about spending this huge amount of money. But we tasked each other to spend one year, it was spend £10. We could only spend £10 on each other. And the hardest thing was trying to buy something for under £10 that was a gift. And it was done. I had a really nice pair of gloves, uh, and he had a really nice scarf. And then the next year we upped it a bit because we said, £10 is difficult. So we said £50 was the absolute maximum amount of money. And so what I did was bought little gifts with that £50, little something you can put in his bag or wallet or things that he needed. And it was nice that you could open up 5 gifts, 5 nice little gifts instead of one. And sometimes I think it makes more sense. We spend far too much money trying to worry about what we buy people and instead of the intent in it, the goodwill, the
The
gesture,
goodwill,
and
yeah.
understanding that someone might want something. It doesn't have to be expensive. If someone did me a handwritten card, that would be mean so much more to me than buying me a bag or some shoes or giving me some cash or something. It's just about the fact that they've taken the time to do that themselves, to do it. That's the true meaning of
Mm,
Christmas for me anyway.
yeah. I like gifts, like a simple gifts. I'm very easy to please Christmas times, you know, nice underwear, underpants, nice vests, socks, you know. I don't buy socks, you know, and when I get them I do appreciate socks and stuff like that. So, you know, not them little cheap ones in the market. Nah. If you give me them, they're going straight back to the market. But I like the Marks and Spencers and, you know, the Louis Vuitton underwear. And now I'm only joking. Yeah, very simple, very simple.
Do you
Some
know
comments
my
coming in there.
my brothers always turn around and say they look forward to Christmas because they get a replenishment of their socks and
Yeah,
underwear. They
yeah,
wait till Christmas because they know that's what everyone's going to get them.
yeah.
So that's, and there was
And
one
you do
year.
appreciate it. And that's the thing is, you absolutely do appreciate it. So, ladies, hint, hint. If you don't want, if you want a cheap, guys, we do appreciate the simple things in life.
Some of them do. Some of them do. Yeah, Yomax says socks are a stable. It is. It's brilliant, And you can get some really cool socks out there from some
Hmm.
of these websites. And I like to buy funky socks. I don't like plain black socks, plain
Yeah.
white socks. You'll always see me in with some kind of funky color, neon color. So my socks say that when I buy them
Hmm.
out for people as gifts. I just don't be bland, don't be boring.
And when
And
and when you get them, you remember where they come from. You actually think, yeah, every time you put it on, it just reminds you of that person, you know.
yeah. And Jazzy P says, I don't do cards and I only sort out for my parents and my nephews and nieces with a bit of cash. I don't do cards either. I've stopped sending out any cards. I think they are a waste of money and I can't keep the stack of cards. You know how much cards I had one time that I said, what am I going to do with all these cards? So I stopped asking people to send me, even for my birthday. I just said no cards. But,
Mm.
your parents always like the cards. They're old school. So,
Yeah.
you give them a card. People like to hang them up and show how many friends they got, you know? Sweetie there. We all want a Christmas tip. We all want one. We definitely all want one. Now, MB, MBE Davy J says, bless you guys. I'd pay monies for that selection of food and drinks. Well worth £100 easily, HPQ. Let me tell you something. They got treated to food because I love cooking and I love Christmas. So, yes, I used to go all out. Everything would be on the table. G4 says, Sharky, do you remember the Christmas present competition we used to have?
Yeah. It's just a mad. Some, anyway. Anyway.
All right. Don't tell us. Jazzy P says, Sharky, you really feeling Bobby Thurston this morning. I knew that Jazzy P would like that song. She's such a old school soul lover as well, and she always resonates that
Mm.
in her shows on GY Radio as well. Love the musical selection that she plays. Now, Yomat 100 says, the men folks are wearing socks and underwear in an array of colors these days. Or if the man has a beard, then get those products that grooms his hair because it makes a difference when a woman has to smell your face hair. Even teaching them how to have your lover be better about venturing between your legs. Okay, yo, Mac, that's good. But that's a good idea as presents. You buy some, but not all women can have perfumey stuff to have between your legs. We have to go with the natural aroma, which I'm sure is okay for most women.
Mm.
And if it isn't, go check yourself out at a doctor's. You can't be just using perfume products. It needs a little bit more than that. But anyway, moving on swiftly from that, got a bit of a dilemma here. Now, a husband stayed at a drunk female colleague's house after an Xmas do. She was sick, but should she be worried? Now, let's talk about the situation. Would it be right for your husband or your partner to stay at a woman colleague's house after a Christmas do because she was sick? Is there any circumstances which would be a yes or major or just a definitive no? Now, we know work Christmas parties can get out of hand. Everyone used to look forward to that ultimate Christmas
Mm.
parties. Now, I used to work in banking and they used to throw a Christmas party. This was way back in the days before banks made headlines for debaucherous behavior and um, big payout packages. We used to have these fantastic Christmas parties at these esteemed venues where some kind of serious debaucherous behavior used to go on, right? Wives, partners went out the window. It was free for all. It was just a free for all. Whoever you fancied in that department was coming after you loud and clear. It was happening. It was going on. That was it. But those were Christmas parties. It probably still does go on. And we all remember the New Year story. I can't remember that. What was the girl and the guy? He got caught with her on the stairs in
Oh
Streatham.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And
I
every year
remember.
it comes up as a meme. It's coming up this year. It's got to be. Everyone says, remember
Oh
them. He got
yes,
caught.
yes, yes.
They used to work at a betting shop. I can't remember
Yeah.
which one it
And the
was,
two
and
of
they
them were
got
on the
fired.
stairs and they got plastered, yeah, all over. I can't remember his name, yeah. It comes up every now and then.
I'm gonna have to find the name. Well, mixed clouders have to remind me of the name. But anyway, so one woman was left concerned when her husband went home with a female colleague after the works do. Now, the woman explained that the festive party started quite early, and he said he'd be home for 11 p.m. But about 10 to 2, she kind of texted him and said, "Where are you?" And he said, "Call him ASAP." So she called him and he explained that this woman got incredibly sick and threw up all over him. So he took her home because he wanted to make sure he got her home. He didn't want to leave her in that inebriated state. And
Mm,
then he said he wanted to stay with her until morning because she could have choked on her vomit or anything, and he didn't want to leave her in that condition all by herself. And so she's put on this um, chat called Mumsnet. What would your husband do in that situation? And do you think it was right for him to stay? And do you think, should I be agreeing with this? Should it be okay? And one woman said, my husband would stay with my blessing. I'd be appalled if he left a person in that state. She could die if she choked on her vomit. Another wrote, thank goodness he's there. Go help him if you can. Someone else said it must be mortifying for the woman when she realizes what happened when she wakes up. Others suggested that if she couldn't be roused, then he needed to take it one step further and call an ambulance for her safety. Yes. Some were wondering why a female colleague couldn't have taken her back, saying, why could a female colleague not have taken her home? Taking her to a house is a major overstep.
mm,
And others were praising him, saying, poor girl, what an awful end. Your husband is an absolute legend. But what would you say to that? I mean, there are so many situations and things that he could have done.
mm.
And going to a house, I don't know if that's the one. And then saying to his wife, "Oh, call me." Why couldn't he call her when he got there?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he call her en route? Why couldn't he call her during the time? Why did he wait until she texted him? I felt like it was a plausible
Mm.
story, but a serious excuse for him to go back and do some shenanigans at the end of the day. That's what I think of it.
Could be, yeah. Could
Because
be.
he could have just found out who her friends were, called friends,
Mm-hmm.
mum on the phone, anybody, family members, anything, ambulance, as they say, to get an ambulance to come and see her.
Yeah,
I don't
just to
know.
check her out or take her to
Yeah,
hospital or something, yeah, if she was that bad, yeah.
yeah. Or call his wife,
Maybe it was just
and
an
say, come
excuse, isn't
down.
it? Could be an excuse. Could have told his wife to come down if he really wanted to. She might have said, well, you stay there or whatever, but.
Yeah, or bring her home
Mm,
to his house. And then his
mm,
wife won't have anything to say. That would be more plausible. If someone did that, my partner went out and brought a woman home saying she was really drunk. I don't know where she lived. She's my work colleague, but I didn't want to leave her. Can she stay here?
yeah.
That's fine. But going back to her house saying, giving that excuse, and I got to call you? Nah, 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 nah. No, no.
I was trying to find the name of that the guy you was talking about. Ah, can't
I'll tell
find
you
it.
what, play a track and I'll find it. I'll
I
find
see you have a smile on your face, HPQ. Have you found the name yet? Have you found his name?
Do you know, I was putting in different search strings and I was coming up with nothing. And
Same
the
here.
girl's name then just came to me. It just came to me. I was like, that's her name. So I put her name in and then it came up automatically with the
Like
story. It,
HPQ.
it came up. So Dominic Soler and Layla Habib
Dominic,
were
that's
the two
it.
names
Dominic,
that were
Dominic,
touted.
Dominic, man, the famous guy, man.
Dominic Soler. And so, for those that don't know this story, right, this story went viral in 2014. It was New Year's Eve 2014. And this clip went around. These kids started filming this couple on a stairs. It must have been round the corner from a New Year's Eve works party that they were having.
Mm,
And they were engaging in he was engaging in some serious oral sex, like proper
yeah,
going for it. right? Going for it like no one's business. He was in there like it was like a pie, you know? He was cutting through that pie and getting to
He
the
was
meat.
proper
So
yamming
these
out.
kids were listen, these kids were filming and they were saying, "Oh my god!" And then next minute they jumped up, but it went viral.
Yeah.
Absolute. They found out his full name in a matter of I think it was 24 hours past. They found out his name, her name, where they worked, their social media accounts, right? It was all advertised on social media and they were hounded. We didn't hear of Layla Habib again because she was like Muslim. she
Yeah.
she she wasn't white, she wasn't black, she was like an Indian Asian origin. So we believe she was Muslim. We reckon the family just took her away, took her out of London, took her
Out of the
way back
country.
into the wild
Yeah.
wilderness of Kazakhstan, somewhere way yonder,
In the
right?
back
Because
of the
in the back end of nowhere, Dominic Soler just disappeared from just the whole traces of them. You can't find them on social media anywhere. I
No.
reckon that they had actually changed their names. It was that bad. Their pictures were up and everything. And I mean, that video, it was. I need to find that video actually. I wonder if it's circulated anywhere.
I've got. You can get that video. It's around. I'll send it to you. But we won't cause them any more problem. Won't put it on the show. But I,
No,
I,
no, we can't put that on the show. That's far too graphic for this
but it was terrible.
for this
But
early morning time.
there was another one just a couple weeks ago, isn't it? Another video very similar with a couple at a wedding that happened a couple Saturdays ago. Um, and the couple, well, I didn't even know, but it was supposed to be at some a wedding or something, and two people were caught in a toilet doing the same thing. The guy was doing the same thing, and apparently she had her partner there, and he had his partner at the same venue. So that's been going around. Have you not seen
I've
that?
I've I've seen that happen before. You know, that's just
But have you
old.
seen that particular video?
I haven't seen that
Oh,
video, but I've
I'll
seen
send
where,
that to you. Yeah.
couples are in a venue and they're both making out with two lots of different people. It's not quite the same. But what is it with people and open air shenanigans? Are you an open air freak? Do you who likes sex
Mm.
in the open? Lots of people like graveyards. What is it with graveyard?
We got you back. We got you back. He was just freezing towards the end of
I
that.
know, I know, and I didn't freeze with a great face either. I really hate those freeze screens because you're always like, a really weird face. You
Like,
know, your face contorts when you're talking and it freezes you right there. So just before it freezes me out again, I'm going to go anyway. It's time to go. Thank you very much for a great show. Thank you for all your comments. Hello, good morning, James Capone. G-Force, about that last comment about Christmas and having the colleague at the house. G-Force says, bring her home and get wife to look after her and get some sleep. That's exactly what you probably shouldn't probably what you should have done. So opinions were divided on the internet, but not so much on here. Anyway,
mm,
guys, thank you so much. I will see you again next week. Now, we were talking about Breakfast Flight Show on Christmas Day. I'm actually trying to do a quiz on Christmas Day later on during the day for those that are want to do have a little bit of Christmas fun. There will be some questions around Christmas and some general knowledge questions and just some fun we're going to have. So make sure if you're around to log on to HPQ on Christmas Day, and also Sharky DJ in the morning. We'll be doing the breakfast show. We'll be on radio, I think, literally all day on
mm.
Christmas Day. So hopefully bringing you guys some fun. And as for the therapy spot, that's on the 30th of December with
That's
Scott
what
the
I was trying
therapist.
to remember. The therapy spot. What day was that going to be on? That's the
Radio.
third.
Anyway, APQ is going to run. Thank you,
Okay.
guys, so much. It's 5 minutes before the end of the show. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jax Happy, James Capone, G Force, Jazzy P, Yomat 100, MBE, Davy J, Jax Happy, and everyone else that joined the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I've taken those words from someone. You know who you are. I'll see you next week. See ya.
Okay. Thank you very much. HBQ time.